Hi everybody, it's Patti and Debbie from Print and Pixel Studio, and we're here again this week with another video on how to laminate napkins to different papers. So if you saw our video last week, we used the plastic wrap to laminate napkins to envelopes, and here's a pocket that Debbie made, and they came out really cute. We made some other things too, but this is just an example of what we did, and we loved it because it gives the look of like handmade paper and the feel of handmade paper. This week we used it again, and we laminated, or tried to laminate, a piece using the plastic wrap method to tracing paper. That was a fail. It just didn't work. So we thought, oh no, that's a bummer. You know, we wasted this whole napkin. But I'll tell you, if you have an accident like that and it doesn't work and it doesn't stick, just peel it right off, whatever it doesn't stick to. And so we peeled it off and put it down on this envelope. We're not going to use this as an envelope, but we thought what we could do is use this as a base to cut up and make a pocket out of. But the beauty of the thing is we didn't waste the napkin, and we just picked it off with a piece that it wouldn't adhere to and put it on a piece of paper that worked with it, and then just went ahead and ironed over it to get it to attach again to this piece. So even if you have a mistake, you don't have to worry about it. 9 times out of 10 you can fix it by just removing it and putting it on another piece of paper. Then you'll also remember that we were crying around because we couldn't find any napkins. And thank you to everybody who commented and gave us all kinds of tips on where to get them, and how, you know, online and in stores. And we've certainly taken that advice, and that's what we're doing now. But in the meantime, we thought, gosh, you know, maybe we could make our own napkins if we can't find any that we liked. Maybe we could make them. So that's what we did here. We took, this is probably the cheapest paper napkin you can buy. And the reason we use these is because when the idea came to us, we didn't really have any plain white paper napkins. And I don't know, you guys probably have one. We have one. Each of us, an old junk drawer that, you know, you get pizza or something and you get the free napkins, you just throw them in there, and who knows what you're ever going to do with them. Well, we found them in there, and we thought, well, we could try it on these and see what happens. They're 2-ply, which is what you want if you're going to do this process. You want the 2-ply napkins, and you don't want to peel them apart like you normally do with napkins. And so then you take, do we have a piece of that? Here, no.
What do you want?
I want the, you know, freezer paper. Just a piece of, I thought we had one out here. Oh, you know what? Here it is, right here at this group that we're going to show in a minute. Right there. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so you take a piece of freezer paper, and like I say, don't peel your napkin apart. Just make sure it's a 2-ply napkin. And you lay your napkin down on top of your freezer paper, and you don't really need to put anything under it on your ironing board or the surface that you're ironing on, because you're not going to have any kind of glue removal on the back. But you do want to put a piece of parchment paper over the top of it, and then iron it on, and make sure you get all around the edges and everything really well. And then you're going to run that through your printer, and surprisingly enough, it works. Now, when I say iron it on, you want it to stick, but it's not going to be a permanent piece, so you don't have to really iron, you know, for any great length of time. Just iron it on till you can see that the edges are attached to the freezer paper, and then and pretty much attached inside. But don't get carried away with the iron, because if you do, you're going to have a hard time getting your napkin off of the freezer paper. So just, you know, you might have to experiment with it once or twice, but I did it the first time, and I'm not by any means any kind of a rocket scientist or anything, so it's very easy to do. But just don't do it too hard, but hard enough to where it's not going to come apart in the printer. Okay, and then I thought, well, my printer that I have at my house is an Epson, and it doesn't like to print on anything other than copy paper, cardstock, that kind of thing. Oops, sorry, forgot to turn my phone off. And over here at Debbie's house, we have an HP printer, and it always takes anything you feed it. You know, it's the least expensive printer, but comes out with great results. And for some reason, it doesn't care what you put in it, it takes it. But I was doing this one at home at the time that we printed these off. And so I went ahead and ran it through, and it came out perfect. I mean, you know, it did, you can see here, I have some ink buildup here on the end because it doesn't, like I say, it doesn't really like to run anything but regular paper. But they came out great. I wouldn't use that part anyhow, so what difference does it make? You know, I would cut it out here. But they came out perfect, and you can see they're super transparent. Oh, and then let me tell you this. So then when you peel the napkin off of the freezer paper, you only want to get the top level, and it comes apart easy, so it's not a big hassle. But you only want to peel off the top layer, and the back layer will stay on the freezer paper. And that's fine because you don't care about having that anyway. You only want the top layer to peel off. And you'll see that it pretty much automatically does it. You don't have to really struggle with it. And this is what you get. Even though those little napkins are kind of crummy, they came out really great. And they're real transparent, and the ink adheres to them really, really well. Here's another one that I did. This is from a new group in our shop called Blue Renaissance. And this piece came out great. I could see this on the cover of a journal or something. In the shop, we have all these designs in several different sizes. So if you wanted to print out, you know, transparent napkins, it's easy to do with that set. But you could do it with any kind of artwork that you have at home already. But anyway, it's super easy. Okay, and then we wanted to try to work with a new process that we found, and I'm sorry, I didn't write her name down. We got this from a gal who did this video, gosh, I don't know, I think it's 8 or 10 years ago. And we thought, ooh, that looks really interesting. We want to try it, and we will have her name in the description in the video, so check for it there, and you can link over to her channel. Anyway, what she came up with was she pre-coats papers that she wants to transfer napkins onto with Mod Podge. And you just basically cover the paper in the Mod Podge, set it to dry. We usually leave them overnight, and that's what she recommends too. And then the next day, or whenever, you just keep them in your stash, and when you want to do something with them, they're ready to go. There's no muss, no fuss. And here's one that we did. This one is on freezer paper, which is what we have here. We coated not the shiny side, but the dull side with the Mod Podge. And then we just laid the napkin down on top and pressed it with the iron, and voila, this is what you have. Now on this one, I coated the top part as well with Mod Podge, and it almost has like we were talking about it earlier, like a vinyl, like that stuff that you buy and you cover plastic tablecloths, only have, you know, the good, what do they call that stuff? It's plastic tablecloths, they sell it by the yard.
Vinyl tablecloths.
Debbie's too young to know the name, but anyway, they're vinyl. It's vinyl that they sell by the yard, and there's a name for it, but I can't think of it. Anyway, that's what it feels like. It has that vinyl texture to it, which is kind of cool, really. I mean, I could see a lot of uses for that. So anyway, then we decided, okay, well, that worked out really great. Let's try a coffee filter. So we took a coffee filter and we coated one side with the Mod Podge, and on the coffee filter, it doesn't matter which side you coat, they're both the same. Coated it with Mod Podge, let it dry overnight, came back the next morning, unfolded a table or a napkin. Now we pre-iron all of our napkins before we apply them to whatever backing we're going to use. It works out better that way. Okay, put the napkin down on top, just ironed it really well, made sure, we ironed it in between 2 layers of parchment paper. Just make sure your iron, that you iron good around the edges, then work on the middle and just, take your time and do it and check it. And when you see that it looks like it's pretty well adhered, take it out from between the parchment papers and trim your edge off, and here's what you've got. And this would be cute on the cover of a journal or as a page, in your journal. You could do all kinds of stuff with that. So let's see, that was the plastic wrap, the freezer paper. No, we didn't do the freezer paper yet. Would you hand me the freezer paper, Deb? We didn't have enough room to have everything out here, so Deb's kind of helping me along with this. Okay, so here's some pieces that we did with the freezer paper. And we really liked that we happened to have this one napkin that was really big, as you can see here, because this is one napkin. And it's backed on freezer paper. And this is easy peasy. You just, I think I already mentioned it in one of the other things that we showed you, but you just put it right on top of the shiny part of the freezer paper. Iron it down, make sure all the edges are tight to the paper. Go back in, iron all the middle. And as you can see, we did get a couple little wrinkles here, but I mean nothing compared to what you normally get. And after all, these are handmade. That's the beauty of it. But this is great. I mean, there's a lot you can do with this. You can cut it up, you could use it, by itself. You could use it for gift wrap, any kind of thing. But it makes a great look, and the feel of it is really nice, don't you think?
It is. I love
the
texture.
Yeah, it feels like handmade paper. So then we thought, oh, that would be cool. So let's stamp on it. So that's what we did here. We just took some stamps that we had and just, kind of randomly stamped around on it. And it makes a really cute paper. There's a lot of things you can do with it. Just, you don't have to just iron a napkin onto it. You can take it to the next level. You could watercolor on it. You could do whatever you want. And we made a little tag out of it here, which is cute. We did glue on the back. We didn't use that process for the backing, but for the rest of it we did. Yeah, cute. And so Debbie's going to do one for us today because I don't have room for the iron. But here's the freezer paper, and she's going to iron it while we're talking about some of this other stuff, and you can see how it turns out. And like I say, the secret to it is pre-iron your napkin so that they're nice and flat, and then it makes it a lot easier when you go to put it on the backing. And on this, remember, you want to iron it to the shiny side of the freezer paper, not the dull side. Oh, another little thing about the freezer paper, and we'll list this also in our description. This comes in brown. It comes in this color. I couldn't find any, and neither could Debbie, at any of the stores locally. But you can get it on Amazon, and we're going to order some because how cool would that be to be able to have this background, on this freezer paper when you iron your napkins to it. But that was another reason that led us to try the Mod Podge treatment on the parchment paper, because we could get that in the craft color. Okay, Deb, she's gonna put this between. Well, this one she doesn't need to, but she is going to put a piece of parchment paper over the top of it when she irons it. You don't need to do it on the back because there's no glue runoff or anything. So she is going to iron from the top with a piece of parchment paper on top of it. And while she's doing that, I guess I should show this again. I think most people, let's see. Debbie's tidying up again, and I lost the Scotch tape.
Oh, sorry.
I had that out, yeah. as I was going to show this, because you know there's a lot of people that are just starting out in crafting and they don't know all the, my gosh, we don't know all the stuff, you know, but this is a handy little tip. And I have had tips from some of our other viewers too, and I want to try those. Let's see, what am I doing here? Okay. Now one gal said if you pull it from back from the edge, not so close to the edge, it's easy to come off. I don't know, some of them come off super easy, other ones takes a while to get it off. Here we go. There you go. Okay, so basically this is what you want to do if you aren't familiar with this process already, is just separate the top layer from the back. Now, the napkins that we have here today are all 2-layer, but when you get into like a really quality napkin, there are 3 layers. So you want to make sure that you peel off both of the back white layers. And I was hoping I could find out a way to maybe print on these whites that are left over, but I don't know because they won't be connected like they would with a regular 2-ply white napkin. Anyway, so there you go, and this is what you want, just that plain top layer of napkin, and you'll be able to see when it's when there are no more layers on it because it's more transparent and there's no more white on the back of it. So I'll show you some of the stuff that we've made here. Let's see, I think I'm getting a little out of sequence here because I thought, yeah, okay. So while she's doing that, these are some that we made using the Mod Podge, and we made most of all of what we've made today using the Mod Podge. And the reason we did is it's so easy and it's so convenient to do. Here's a book page that we just did. Well, we covered with the Mod Podge, let it set out overnight, and you can see one side is regular and one side has the Mod Podge on it. And when we get ready to use it, all we have to do is put our napkin on top, iron it down. This I would iron in between a couple pieces of parchment paper, but iron it down and voila, you have something like this. So these are little file cards that we found, and they had little holes in them because apparently they were originally kept in a book, but we thought they were super cute. And the funniest thing is when we got these napkins, these were our least favorite. I don't know why, but they were. They're cute. But once we put them on here, we thought, oh my gosh, these are our favorite now. But again, they have the feeling of handmade paper. And then we took just tiny rickrack and wove it through the holes, and it gave it a lot of detail. But what a cute journal card to stick in your journal. Or you know what else these would be cute? Recipe cards. You could make up a bunch of these and give them as a gift to a friend that you think would enjoy them, and they would be cute recipe cards. Let's see, there's another one here that Debbie did, which is cute too. This is super cute. Now, she took her napkin and put it on here, and then she took embroidery thread, and look how cute she did it. She didn't stitch it, she just ran it through the holes, and at an angle, and then I'm seeing what she did here. Oh, then she brought the one string back and brought it up the front and tied it. And how cute is that? Cute little note card. Again, this would be super cute as a little piece of stationery card. And speaking of stationery, she did that too. Now these are all done with the Mod Podge. She put Mod Podge on the cards before, just a layer of Mod Podge, let it set overnight, and then the next day came back and laid her napkin on top and just ironed it. And I mean, you talk about easy and no mess, and you could, put papers like that in your stash, and when you get the mood to do something with napkins, just bring them out. But look at this. How cute is this? Perfect little stationery set. Cute, cute, cute. And all done with napkins and, of course, a plain white envelope and a greeting card and Mod Podge. And that's it. And here again, she had a piece that she took, cardstock that she took, and she Mod Podged it again, just like this, just a layer of Mod Podge on there, let it sit overnight, put the napkin on top, and then used some die cuts with the Sizzix to cut out these shapes. And these are adorable. And how cute would they be? Tucked in your journal, maybe glued on the cover of your journal. Really cute. Are you ready for me over there? Okay, I'll show the rest of these later. Okay, so here we go. Yeah, it's perfect. Completely adhered. There's no coming apart at the corners or anything. It's totally adhered to that piece of freezer paper. Cute, cute, cute. And then all you have to do is just cut it out and you're good to go. But I think I won't cut this out until I give Debbie this other one to do. Let's see, what other one were you gonna do, Deb?
I think the Mod Podge.
Oh yeah, okay. Oh yeah, here we go, this one. So here, Debbie's gonna do this for us too. This is a piece of paper, or book page, I'm sorry, covered in the Mod Podge. And we're not showing how to do the Mod Podge because basically it's just you take a brush and brush it, you know, over. The secret to it is make sure you get all the edges really covered. But, you know, again, if you don't, you can always fix it later with a little bit of more Mod Podge or glue or something. So don't worry about it. But if you can, get all of your edges covered really well. And she's going to take this and she's going to attach this napkin to it. And then we'll see what we get. And again, she's going to put this in between two layers, you know, a layer on the back and a layer on the top of parchment paper when she irons it. It'll save your iron, and it'll also save whatever you're ironing on, the fabric or whatever you're using. Okay, so here we go. We're just going to cut this off. And another cool thing about this is, if you have excess like this, when you cut these, the excess napkin off, you have napkin that you could put and turn into washi tape. And we have another video that we'll link in the description that shows how to do washi tape with double-sided tapes, different kinds. And so that might be interesting to you as well. So you don't really have any waste. You could use, you know, the whole thing. Even if you're cutting it like this and you think, oh gosh, I got all that napkin wasted, but you don't. You could also use the pieces, you know, in a collage. You can collage on paper, on a book page, or whatever inspires you. Alrighty. So it's pretty much fun. I mean, there's so many ideas that you could do with this stuff, and I know you guys could come up with more, you know, as you're playing with it. But here we go. It's perfect. You know, you could crinkle it, you can do whatever you want. And we're going to try again with the tracing paper. I think that we would, this is not cut straight, so, you know, don't pay attention to that. We'll even it out. But anyway, we're going to try again with tracing paper, because I think if we had some kids' tracing paper, that it would have adhered to that. But we didn't. We only had better grade tracing paper, and it didn't work. Oh, cool. Thanks, Deb. Okay, so here's Debbie's using the same method, the Mod Podge on the book page, and then she just ironed it down, and look what a great look you get. Really cool. And everything's totally attached. There's no, you know, no muss, no fuss. It's super fast. And we love it. I mean, this is kind of like our favorite thing, isn't it, Deb?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
For Mod Podging and putting napkins on everything.
Yeah. Debbie's coating everything with napkins. And thank you guys again for your suggestions for finding napkins. And we are ordering some online because I think you do get a better quality napkin when you order from, from some of the folks online that are selling them. Anyway.
Special shout out to everyone who offered to send us napkins.
Oh, yes,
That-
exactly. That was
Amazing.
It was
That
amazing.
really
Totally
warmed
amazing.
Our hearts,
I
man.
know.
We couldn't. We
talk
were,
about generous.
Yeah.
Yeah. I never, we were just so taken back by that. It was such a wonderful thing. Wonderful, wonderful thing. Now, this one, we're not going to cover with Mod Podge, but you could if you wanted to. Here's a book page. You covered this with Mod
That
Podge.
is covered. This
Yeah.
is not.
So here's a book page that Debbie did earlier. And the reason that she cut this one out is because the napkin that she used for this is this napkin. And it looks fabulous when you put it on a full page. But she just wanted to put a little piece on a page like this. And so when she did it the first time, yeah, this napkin. When she did it the first time, she cut a bigger piece out and left some of the napkin background on it because she thought that would be cute, but it didn't. It showed where the Mod Podge was, right, Debbie? When
Like some of the Mod Podge came out around the edges,
yeah,
and I just didn't like the look of that on the paper.
That was not with this Mod Podge treatment. She
No.
Mod Podged the fussy cut onto the book page, and it was hard to keep the Mod Podge from showing around the edges, and she didn't like that look. So she went ahead and kept the little cut pieces off and kept this, and she then had already Mod Podged over the top of it, and it came out cute. And so she is going to use this on something, and it makes a cute little fussy cut to use, but it was not, it didn't look good on the book page. But we have an idea using some Pellon, which is a fusible web type thing that quilters and stuff use. So we're kind of going to play with that and see what happens. And if it comes out great, we'll let you know. But you could do that, put your napkin on Pellon and then cut pieces out, and then it would have the sticky on the back. But we'll see. It's transparent. That's why we want to use it. It's not like sticker paper or anything like that. It's transparent. But anyway, that's a video for another day. But this is super cute. And you can see the difference of Mod Podging over the top and not Mod Podging. So it's up to you what you prefer. I know if you watched our other video, we kind of like this paper feel that it gives when you don't Mod Podge on top. But yet, this is super cute too. So you can see how easy it is to do, and here's a couple more examples of it. This one is a book page, which was Mod Podged in advance, and then the napkin applied on the top. And it's really cute, makes a really neat piece. And here's a couple bingo cards that were done the same way. Now this bingo card was the bingo cards were Mod Podged first, left to dry. Next day we took them and put the napkins on them. This one we put Mod Podge over the top. This one we did not. So you can see the difference. They're very similar, very similar. But anyway, they make really cute tags for your journal. And I'm trying to think, Debbie, was there anything else we were going to talk about today? I guess that's everybody and everything. But we hope you'll try these methods because they're super fun. And check out our video. Like I say, we're going to put a link to it, the one we did last week, which goes into great detail on the plastic wrap idea of laminating, which worked out really good for us. That's what these were done with, and you can see how great they came out. And then the freezer paper, which we really like that. And one reason we do is you can get big pieces of paper with that, with your napkins. It gives you a lot of ways you can go with that. And also the freezer paper for doing can you hand me those napkins over there? For doing the printable. Use your own printables and make napkins, and it doesn't have to be a fancy napkin. It's just, talk about, they couldn't get any cheaper than these napkins we did it on. These are from some, I don't know, fast food place or something, I don't know. But we'd like to try it on a more quality napkin and see what happens, but these are perfect. They're great. So just with some freezer paper and a couple of cheap napkins, you could print your own if you want to.
Right.
Yeah, if there's a certain pattern. Right, right. And two, cute, using coffee filters. You could do, tea bags, whatever you want. Yeah. It's just, there's no end to it. But we hope you'll try this Mod Podge, this pre-painting of the whatever pages and stuff and papers with Mod Podge, and then being able to iron it when you're ready. Add napkins and stuff when you're ready to it, because it's a lot of fun. So anyway, I guess that's it for us, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll see you next week.